What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to episode number 729 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. You just heard brand new songs to the show. We have AKA Scarecrow and their song Unscarred. And you heard from Josie and the Whalers. I almost said Whalers, like whales. Josie and the Whalers and their song Computer Poop, which is funky and had an interesting title. So I added it to the station's rotation. You also heard an ad for the Band Jam from 97.7 Rocks. You want to check that out. That's an awesome weekend of music in the Slippery Rock area. I am coming to you on musicfromthe412.com, buildascene.com, megarockradio.net, KFGD 107.1 FM, St. Louis, Missouri, Rootaroo Radio, and xrpradio.co.uk out of the Highlands of Scotland. Joining me tonight is Matt from Neostem. What's up, Matt?
So how many times has it been since I've been on the show?
Well, that's a good question. I will tell you that when I was preparing the website, it told me that this was Neostem-6. So at least 6 times.
It's like Saturday Night Live. Do we get like a 5-timers jacket or something?
After 100, you might get a watch or something. I don't know. But it may come from MacBid. That's where my watch came from.
You know what? You've been sending me those links, man. They got some really good stuff. I got to reinstall that app because I definitely want to get some. I told you about this thing after shows and practices.
Yeah. Well, you know this already, but my son spent about $56 through MacBid this week and got a new computer gaming desk, computer or gaming keyboard, mouse, headphones, mouse pad, an extra large mouse pad. I don't even remember. Oh, a monitor mount. The monitor mount by itself and the desk by themselves retails way more than $60. So you can get some good deals there. And if anyone's not familiar, it's mac.bid, and they're a liquidating company, and they are all over this area. There's one in Butler, one in Robinson, one at Pittsburgh Mills, one in Monroeville.
Oh, there's one in Monroeville now.
And yeah, it's actually, you know where the Halloween store used to be?
Yeah.
Like before you get to Monroeville?
Yeah, around 22 there, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's in that plaza.
No way, because that's super close to me. Because when I was initially on that site, I was always on the Pittsburgh Mills, like Monroeville. That's 10 minutes from my house here in West Mifflin.
Yeah, and Robinson is actually on you know where Campbell's Run Road is?
Yeah,
it's right there. So that one's not too far from you either. That's where we had to go to get the desk. That is far from me.
Yeah, I know where you're at. That is a haul.
It was an hour, but we got the desk for like $19, and that made it worth it. Now that we've done this big ad for MacBid, and they have no idea who I am.
Sponsor Bill and Neostem.
So speaking of Neostem, what do you guys have going on right now? It's been a while since we chatted.
A lot's going to happen in such a little time frame with Neostem. We're on the 13th of July here. We're going to be up in Cleveland playing Dogrock, which is a benefit that place up in Cleveland puts on to help with no-kill shelters up there. It's going to be the 3 Pittsburgh bands involved with that one this year are us, Stone Cold Killer, and False Positive. And oddly enough, it goes their lineup goes 3 o'clock Stone Cold Killer, 4 o'clock Neostem, and 5 o'clock False Positive. So you get that Pittsburgh block. And I really enjoy doing shows with Stone Cold Killer. I think this will only be the second one, but the first one we did was up at the Shriners, and we went on after them. They're a high energy band, and they they get the crowd going for and leave that energy for us to jump on and just keep riding that wave in. So that's a good show.
I saw them in Millville this past May. They're a lot of fun. And if you like tribute bands, they have probably the greatest Guns N' Roses tribute band.
Guns N' Roses, my girlfriend knows of them. I was like, Why not?
Yeah, at least band name wise, it's got to be the best, right?
Yeah, that's the most Pittsburgh tribute band name you can think of, and that's money right there.
He kind of looks like young Axel too.
I haven't seen him since we did that show up at the Shriners. Does he still have the weird mustache and everything?
Yeah, well, when I saw him, yes. So later in the next break, I'm going to play some Neostem, and we have "Shut Me Up," which is your newest track, right?
Yeah, Shut Up Me. Yeah, live we've been having.
Why do I keep saying that? I have that tagged wrong, I think.
Yeah, it's a funny part. Like, the fun part about that song is when we play it live, Sean Murphy from the Molecule Party comes up and sings with us. Last month in June, when we played over at Poetry Lounge, he came up and sang it, and it's a good fit in doing the guest vocals on that one.
And then the second track, because I told you we could play two, and you told me to just throw one in.
Dealer's choice.
We're gonna do the one about the hometown area.
Mudhole.
Yes. So we'll get to that in a little bit. So something we've never talked about, which is surprising. Usually there's more of you here. There's three of you in the band. Usually you're all here. But since it's just you and you do some streaming of your own, do you want to throw that information out?
Oh, yeah. I'm a Twitch gamer. Mostly do really odd. I kind of fell into this weird thing where farming sims games. I've been doing a lot of demos from developers. So yeah, it's, on Twitch, it's Seddy Says Go, SEDDY SAYSGO, all one word. I'm actually on the path to affiliate thanks to that, and I just got reached out to from a guy on Twitter who has a Twitch stream that helps people break into that affiliate level. So he says let him know whenever I'm on and to check him out whenever he's on, and he'll help me break that level. And that's whenever I can get that Bezos money. People, all those Amazon Prime subscriptions, and no one's using their free Twitch subscription. It's like $5 comes my way.
Wait a minute, there's free Twitch subscriptions through Amazon Prime?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I learned about it I watched a streamer named Graham Pooh Bear who does Mario mod gaming streams and all sorts of other stuff. And he was talking about, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, it's right there. So I give mine to him every month. And then I'm like, crap, I can get that. That's money that that people don't realize that they have, that it's not theirs. And if they don't use it, that goes back into Amazon profits.
We're gonna have to talk about that off the air because I definitely have an Amazon Prime account.
Yeah. I learned about it. My mind was blown. I'm like, all right.
And I also stream on Twitch, but I'm not gaming. It's what we're doing right here.
You can still get them.
Yep. All right. How about we're gonna go a deep dive into you. You still do some BMX riding, don't you?
Still the track announcer at Southpark BMX. I still ride. I'm actually currently looking at it. Well, my girlfriend's about to find out now watching this. I'm currently looking at possibly getting another race bike to ride at the track. But I've been doing it for almost, I'm 43. I've been doing it for almost 30 years. Been involved in the sport and been volunteering for 15 of those years up at Southpark BMX. I'm still doing it, still going strong. I'll do it probably until they tell me, Matt, you don't have it in you anymore, then I'll hang it up. But yeah, I've called nationals. I've traveled called some state races. It's a unique thing. And when I tell my girlfriend what I do, she goes, "That's a really weird thing." I was like, "I know. It's just something you just fall into and don't realize it." It's just like Kennywood. I figure I'll do it for a couple of years and that's it. And if you look behind me on this table here, that is the start of the next Eduardo. 10 years later.
Well, listen, I started working at Kennywood in 1997, and my last year there was 2010. So I get it.
I've given myself it. I'm like being 43 now. I said I'll give myself 50. When I hit 50, I'm just going to call it. I say this now, it is live, it's recorded. So when I'm 50 and still at Kennywood and 51 still working there, this broadcast can come back up and go, hey, Matt, remember what you said?
I am going to send Marie a message later and tell her that you said you're done at 50.
She's going to go, the hell he is.
Anyway, let's take our first break. We're going to listen to Shut Up Me and Mudhole by Neostem. And on the video side, I'm going to give away some tickets. So bear with me.
Get in on that, people. Free tickets.
Okay, so I'm back to give away those tickets that I mentioned. Give me just a moment to remove some things. There we go. So I had 7 people sign up for this one. Is 10,000 Maniacs at Jurgles. Tickets are provided to us by Drusky Entertainment. There are 2 of them. You must be 21 and over for this one. And there are tickets available. You can get those by going to druskyentertainment.com. We had 7 people sign up this week. To sign up is really easy. You go to musicfrom412.com/contest. You click on the show you want to attempt to win tickets for. There's a little Facebook share button in the bottom right. You click on it, tag Drusky Entertainment, tag Music from the 412. And then there's a form that asks for your name and your email address. And all we use that for is to contact you and let you know if you won. Tickets are either sent to you via email or Drusky Entertainment will send you an email saying, hey, these ones are will call. They're under your name. Pick them up when you arrive. With that said, those 7 people that signed up were Tina Ladig, Andrew Carr, Keith Ladig, Keith Condrich, Tom Trainer, Nikki Praza, and Marissa Watson. I'm going to go ahead and get that up on my screen so you can see their names above my head there. I'm going to shuffle them just to randomize it a little bit. You know what? I'm going to press it one more time. There we go. And I'm going to spin, and whoever's name it lands on should expect to get an email from me tonight, and then a follow-up email from Drusky Entertainment. Adam Valen will be the person contacting you. And this week's winner of the 2 concert tickets is... Ooh, that is so close. Keith Ladig. Keith, you've done this a few times, so you know how it works. I'm not going to go through everything for you. Just keep an eye on your email. With that said, we're going to come back momentarily with Matt from Neostem. You're tuned in to episode number 729 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. You just heard Neostem Shut Up Me and Neostem Mudhole. With me tonight is Matt from Neostem. It's like there's a theme there. Same bat band, same bat band. So you can't really see it. There we go.
Rock for Life 25th anniversary.
My last 2 weekends I spent taking photos at Rock for Life shows.
That was fun when we did that a couple of years ago. So
that day.
Oh, you even warned us. I've never worn sunglasses playing outdoors. I did that day, and I picked the wrong day to wear all black like I always do.
So the venue has changed. They no longer do shows at Island. Yesterday or Saturday, we were at JB's Roadside Bar and Grill in Tarentum. Last week we were at Paradise Park in Collinsville. If you've never been to Paradise Park, that place is huge. It has this huge covered, like you're in a big pavilion, and the stage is in a pavilion, kind of like the Shrine Center, only bigger.
I really like the Shriner Center. I wish there's more. I wish more stuff happened up there because that's a great venue, not just for local shows, but even if they got some other acts up there. But that it's just so nice.
They do Thunder Thursdays there, right? You don't. So Thunder Thursdays, they have local bands in. It's free admission. I want to say doors are at like 6 and the show starts at 7. But it's every Thursday. You can go to their website. I can't remember it offhand, but if you search Pittsburgh Shrine Center, you'll find all the information. But every Thursday they have a show and it's free admission. Because they have concessions and beer and so they're making their money off of that. I went to a ton of them last year. I haven't been to one yet this summer, but it's a good time. I took my kids with me a bunch of times. They enjoyed it too, except for Aiden. He doesn't like being outside. He has a bit of an issue with things trying to kill him, and he has allergies. Yeah, you should check that out. That's not that far from you either. Just down 28 a little bit.
Up 20. I wouldn't even take 28. I'd cut through Verona on Washington Boulevard.
So let's see. We talked about your BMX stuff, about your streaming. We really haven't touched on a little bit on Neostem because we talked about shows.
Yeah.
But what do you want to talk about?
Oh, if you want to stick on the Neostem, and like I said, we have a lot happening in such a short time. The album that we've been working on is almost done finally. We're looking for a September release on that. Ryan is trying to work out the logistics and getting a release show we're looking at the Loose Moose over in Baldwin for that. August 7th, we are going to be playing at Southpark at a pavilion. A friend of ours from Hepcat Dilemma is putting on a big all-day thing, and he got us in on that. But we're just waiting on what pavilion we're going to be at, where he has booked or where he's has booked, so we can get that information out to everyone. And so about July 13th. Also, Ryan's birthday is in late July, so we're going to do a little birthday show at Ryan's house, private event. So unless Ryan lets you know, then. And then we take our usual break because I have Kennywood, and then we come back in November. We'll probably do the EQT early November like we do every year, and then November 22nd, my girlfriend Amanda's birthday show at Squirrel Hill Sports Bar. But the album coming out in our best of also coming out as well. I really have to get on getting those album art done real soon. Kind of slacking on that.
You guys play a lot at Squirrel Hill Sports Bar, but where else? I'm betting that you consider that probably like home base.
That is, Barry gave us we say every time, we always thank Barry. He gave us our first shot when Neostem first started in 2012. We really didn't have. We were trying to get on shows, and bands would go, "Oh no, we're good." No one even looked at us. Would give us a shot until one day our original drummer had a friend who was working up at the White Hawk in Penn Hills. We went up and met with Barry. Barry gave us the stage, let us book. He even supplied a sound guy to help us get started. And we played there once. We packed the place in, and he mentioned that he's opening Squirrel Hill Sports Bar. We were initially supposed to be the first band to play there. We weren't. We had some events go down. We had to move the date. Fist Fight in the Parking Lot, I believe, was the first band. We were the second band to play there live. So either way, we were one of the originals, and that place is home. And Barry's been nothing but great to us. I
haven't been there in a while.
It keeps improving. Last time we played there was just more and more improvements. You can tell it's a work in progress, and every time we're always impressed with how much more has been done with that place.
Very cool. I told Barry that I was going to come out, and I haven't been in a while, so I may hear about it.
Yeah, we also like the Loose Moose. It was a good place. I'm trying to think of other places. We played a lot. Poetry. I highly recommend Poetry down in Millville. Love that place. It's like the downstairs. It's a little bit bigger than the downstairs of Smiling Moose. Bigger stage, more room to move around ish. And Smiling Moose as well. Club Cafe was one we played before Thanksgiving last year. We definitely want to go back there. I even put our information in with Opus One to try and get on some shows. It's a nice. It's like I like that place for two reasons. One, it's a little small and quaint, it's fun, and two, I can bring my combo amp and it's a lot lighter.
Very cool. Hey, let's take our second break. This time we're going to hear from King Catfish in their track Right Now.
Love some King Catfish. You guys are really cool.
And then we're going to go outside the borders of Pennsylvania, and we're going to hear from a Virginia band, A Day in Pompeii, and their song Darker Nights, and we'll be right back. We're back on episode 729 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. With me this time, Matt. Surprised Matt by bringing him up with me instead of after me.
Good thing it wasn't nose or anything.
See, I saw it happening in the green room, and I wasn't going to say anything, but now you told everybody. So I haven't asked you really any rock show type questions yet.
No.
Clearly, I can't ask you about pizza or Dave Grohl because we've done that a bazillion times. But, and I've probably asked you this question, but I'm sure you can change it up for me. If you were going to manage a super group from the local music scene, who would you put in your super group? And mention, if you can, what bands they're in now so people can go check out their bands.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like I said, I've always said without, every time this question even comes up, not just with you, but with anyone else that asks us, I started off with the front man. That's going to have to be Bobby C from Royal Honey. To me, he's one of the best in the area. Like
he kind of has a screamy, almost like AC/DC vocals, but not. It's hard to.
It's more so the attitude he projects on that stage.
Yeah.
It's when he goes up on stage, it's the attitude. And whether he does have the AC/DC feel, but man, he just brings, when he comes on, you're getting rock and roll. Boom. And remind me to come full circle back to Bobby C after you finish your thing, because I have a cool story to tell you. All right. And then, like I said, guitar wise, Marcus Raubal, who used to be in God Hates Unicorns, he was really good, one of my favorites. But since he's no longer affiliated with the bands, I don't know what he's doing musically. I haven't talked to him in a very long time. If I had to pick another guitar player, I'm going to go with Brandon Sparrow from False Positive, because that dude can rip a solo at the snap of a finger. Drummer, who would I pick on drums? A lot of them. If I'd go off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of bands we've done stuff with. I'd probably I'd fight on a quickness. I'll probably just grab Rob up, our drummer. Bass player, I'd grab Matt Sedlak from Parable. One, because I've learned from him as well. And if I want to go with a second guitar player, I probably would go with my guitar teacher, my sensei, George Stable.
Hey, I know him.
Yeah, I would go with that.
And he also worked at Kennywood.
Still does.
Does he really?
Yeah. He was my handler whenever I was in Holiday Lights, when I was a costume character. He walked around with me a lot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's actually I worked with his ex-wife. I was her manager, and then he started working Fright Nights, which isn't what it's called anymore, but I knew him, but I worked with him during Fright Nights.
It's always how it's even when I go for reorientation, they still call it Fright Nights. That's how we know it's.
I have some of his songs.
He was like, when he taught me, he taught me just the basics and then let me go off on my own, because really you can teach to a point. Then and then I kind of, so he just let me, and then I'd come back around and take lessons here and there, come back around. And it wasn't like a constant lessons. Like I'm going every week for lessons. I'd go a couple weeks, go away for a while, come back for a couple weeks, go away for a while. Yeah, so that and I translate a lot of that to my bass playing too. A lot of people, like, we just did a show, we did poetry. The one band went on first, they're from Erie. They're like, "You play weird." I'm like, "Well, I'm a guitar player initially," and they're like, "Oh, you have like a descendant style when you play." I was like, I don't try and emulate any style. Like with Ryan's guitar playing, sometimes I got to play as a second guitar, so a lot of my bass lines come out as almost like a riff in a way to complement what Ryan's doing. So it's nothing I intentionally do to sound like anybody, but it's taking what I learned on guitar, putting it towards the bass, and then adding on top of that.
Who was the band from Erie?
Oh, I can't remember their name off the top of my head. I do apologize. It was the show. Sarah Halter put the show on. It went those guys, Sarah Halter, and us. And
was female fronted? No,
Mel. Three guys. They're like a sludge band.
I'm not going to get it then.
Yeah, there was. I couldn't remember. I do know that we packed the place. Neostem brought the people. I was impressed with our turnout for that show, and but now we're actually looking to try and go back to poetry for a show in the future.
All right, so I'm gonna backtrack and go back to Bobby C for a moment, because you almost got asked to this, and you don't even know it. So we took the studio that was used for Signal Chain, which you asked me about offline earlier, and we converted it to our podcast and radio station room last week. And we did a live broadcast. And when I say live broadcast, I mean the video was live and we were broadcasting to the radio live at the same time, which, by the way, is not easy to do. I was running mix. I was running OBS. I was running a video switcher. And in the room was Bobby C, George from Excuses, Rocky, and Norm Nardini. We ran out of mics. But we're gonna try and do more of those where we bring somebody in and you are clearly we're on our list, but you lost out to George.
You got to. Excuse is such a great place to play. That was I went there to what it is now, and it was me and my girlfriend and her friend are sitting there. I'm telling stories about how here's what happened here, we did here, and it was. That place is it's like the you have in your eras. You had the Electric Banana for the punk rock scene, and then Excuses kind of I felt came up where that one followed up.
Yeah, it was a cool night. I had never met George or Norm, and I told my wife that I learned a lot of new swear words from Norm. And it was cool. And then he tagged me afterwards. I was like, okay, that's awesome. Anyone's not sure who I mean, it's Norm Nardini. Look him up. You can look up Norm Nardini and the Tigers. And he actually told stories about Bon Jovi opening for his band, which is now you understand what I'm telling you. Yeah. So yeah, expect to hear from us. If we do another one of those, we're probably going to invite you down.
Let me know. Yeah,
and it's not too far for you.
West Homestead's right over the hill. Yeah.
But those big throne chairs he has, the red ones. Yeah. We have those around the table and SM7B mics, and it's a nice setup. But I need someone else to run the video switcher. But let's see. This is hard because you have been on a lot. I'm trying to come up with one more question for you. I tell you what. Let's give everybody a little bit of insight into what you do at Kennywood's. What do they call it now? It's
Phantom Fall Fest is what it is now. They try to it's centralized because think that's what they call it everywhere else where Palace has. I'm not 100% certain on it. Anyone watching, if they could share a better insight on that, I kind of zone out when they when they do the you know how they do the reorientation. They give you the whole rigmarole, and I get television fuzz until they go, here's what's new. Then that's when I click back in. I'm a marionette guy. To put it, you guys have, if you've come through Kennywood's Phantom Fall Fest, you've either seen me just standing outside my dressing room waiting to go into before we go into the haunt, or if you've come through to Voodoo Bayou, I'm the first person you see. A lot of people, like, they'll talk to me when I start talking about Kennywood and start telling what I do. And I mention, it's like, as soon as I mention the Voodoo Bayou, I'm the guy at the marionette. They go, I can see that now. I was wondering. I'm like, yeah. The voice is.
George Sable. Was the Voodoo King for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in a pirate maze. And,
Captain Scully's or something like that it was called.
Yep, and he was Captain Scully. Okay, so you're Eduardo.
Yeah.
Eduardo. So you're on what version of him now?
Hold on. We'll do a count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're on like 7, 8, or 9, something like that. I make it like I gotta make a new one every year. I go to Build-A-Bear. They're starting to get to know me now. And I pick like, no, it's my marionette. And funny thing on the marionette, on the puppet thing, my girlfriend for my birthday, we came back from the Mothman Museum. We went to at the Craft House. You're talking about Drusky. Drusky put on a thing called Puppeteers for Fears, a puppet musical rendition of Cthulhu. It was a blast. I loved every minute of it.
Very cool.
It gave me some ideas as well going in, especially for my character and what I say and everything. A lot of it comes from, like, I don't watch scary movies at all. I'm not a horror movie person. I kind of like the psychological stuff, and being a wrestling fan. Bray Wyatt and Malachi Black from AEW were like huge inspirations on things I say and how I go about my character. Well, now since Bray Wyatt died, his brother has stepped in as the Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy, yeah.
Howdy's the Wyatt Six, and there was his promos leading into it. I'm watching, like, I get like my hair stands up, like, this is genius. And here goes me stealing stuff. I'm going to use some of this. I'm going to use some of that. And there's something he said in his latest promo. I think I might have to use it almost word for word. And it's for me, it would be a game changer for my character, because I got tired. Someone posted in Kennywood Crazy that Voodoo Bayou is family friendly, and that irked me last year. And I even told my managers, I want to take a very dark turn for my character. I don't want to hear that, to know all these kids think they're not going to come in and be scared. Well, now I want to change that, especially with my character. So they gave me the go ahead. So I'm like, all right.
When I worked there, I generally was in the office running radios in the comm center. But one night they sent me to front of house at Captain Scully's, and I accidentally scared somebody, and it was great. Like, I didn't mean to do it, but after I did it the rest of the night. But, all right, well, Matt, I want to thank you for hanging out with me on episode 729.
Thank you. It's always a great time hanging out with you.
Everybody, make sure you head to facebook.com/Neostem. They do have a Wix site, but I don't remember the exact address. That's why I'm not mentioning it.
Yeah, I forgot to subscribe to the domain name.
It happens.
Yeah, I got to get back on that, yeah.
And real quick, those shows again, if you just rattle off.
Okay, July 13th, we are up in Cleveland playing Dogrock. August 7th, we're at Southpark. Check out our Facebook page. When we get the location, we will post that. We're looking at September. We're looking at September 7th. Ryan's getting confirmation that the date's solid for Loose Moose. Then we take a little bit of break, work on some new music again, and then we come back into, usually we do the EQT first Sunday after Halloween, and then November 22nd is Squirrel Hill Sports Bar for my girlfriend's birthday show.
Okay. With that said, make sure you join us each and every Monday night for the Pennsylvania Rock Show. And don't forget to head to musicfrom412.com for your concert ticket needs, as well as music videos and radio. And we will see you next week.